In this session, I'll be taking up the antibiotics and mechanism of action at molecular level. There are hundreds of antibiotics out there. The mechanism of action of various antibiotics different from one category of antibiotics from another category. I will limit the discussion regarding antibiotics and mechanism of action to the molecular level, especially on the translation, transcription, and replication. At the end of the session, the learner shall be able to define antibiotics and explain mechanism of action of various antibiotics. So let us see the definition of antibiotics here. Definition, the first objective, we can say the definition of antibiotics, or we can say bacterially, fungally, or synthetically produced, either bacterially or fungally or synthetically produced substances. What are these? So these are the substances. They inhibit growth of a microorganism. Inhibit growth of microorganism. Such the substances are called antibiotics, microorganisms. The antibiotics, when you talk about the antibiotics inhibit. How the mechanism, what is the mechanism? Inhibit essential biological processes. As I said, my discussion will be limited to, so at the molecular levels, so I will limit to that one only. It may be maybe we can say translation, so protein synthesis, and transcription, so that is RNA synthesis. Then so replication. Generally, mostly it is the translation on which the antibiotics they act upon it. Or more than one process. One process. So this is how they act. Why translation? Let us see. Why translation? What is so special about the translation? As I said, majority act on translation. Some act on the transcription also, some act on the replication. Why it is so? Because the translation has enormous complexity. The process has got enormous complexity comparison to replication and transcription. So what happens? This one makes susceptible to disruption in many ways. So there is a chance it is a complex and makes susceptible to disruption in many ways. Then when you talk about the antibiotics, the second one is mechanism of antibiotics, how they are acting. Antibiotics may act on prokaryotes system, bacteria and others, and or eukaryotic system. Or both. So either prokaryotes or eukaryotes or both. Then why some antibiotics cannot act on eukaryotes? What is the reason? Why the antibiotics cannot on eukaryotic system? There may be the one main reason is failure to penetrate cell membrane of eukaryotic cell membrane. So fail to penetrate eukaryotic cell membrane. This is the quite common. Or another may be so do not bind do not so bind to eukaryotic ribosome. Eukaryotic ribosome. So in the eukaryotes, ribosomes are 40S and 60S. In the prokaryotes, it is 30S and 50S. So mostly it is the common one is fail to penetrate cell membrane, or do not bind to the eukaryotic ribosome. The next one is the difference in effectiveness. When you take any antibiotics, difference in effectiveness. How effective it is? There is a difference is there, effectiveness. Of antibiotics, particular antibiotic. So there may be difference in effectiveness on either pro or eukaryotic cells. Pro or eukaryotic cells, the difference in effectiveness. So it is the basis of their usefulness. Basis of their usefulness. Usefulness of what? As therapeutic agents. Therapeutic agents. So therapeutic agents, so whether they are more effective on prokaryotic system or eukaryotic system, so it decides how much effective of these particular antibiotics for various bacterial infection. So that is the basis. Then let us now discuss one by one. The first one we'll take up is the antibiotics acting on prokaryotes. Quickly, I'll go through it. It is very difficult. So to describe all of them, just I'll talk about. So prokaryotes, especially translation process. First, I will take up the translation and the prokaryotes and eukaryotes. The first one is tetracycline. So, and its derivatives. So then we'll see what is the mechanism. Derivatives. It is belong to broad spectrum antibiotics. Broad spectrum antibiotics group. Antibiotics. Then let us see here. So suppose this is the messenger RNA. In the prokaryote system, this is 50S. So this is 30S. So it is 50S. This is 30S. So here 30S, there is a 16S ribosomal RNA. The tetracycline binds here. TC binds, that is the one aspect. Then here the tetracycline, it prevent so binding of amino acyl transfer RNA at A site. So generally the resistance is quite common. Resistance is quite common. So it has got the serious clinical problems. Nowadays, resistance leads to serious clinical problems. So why this resistance? What is the reason? So it is the bacterial cell membrane permeability is decreased. Cell membrane to the antibiotic. So bacterial cell membrane permeability is decreased. Decreased. Bacterial cell membrane permeability is decreased. That is the one aspect. So that is it is main thing rather than so change in ribosomes. It is the permeability that matters. The second antibiotic is chloramphenicol. So this is the also broad spectrum antibiotics. Let us see what is the mechanism. Again, it is in the prokaryotic system. Here we can see here there is 50S and 30S. Here it is 50 years and 30 years. Okay. Then it is the first one is there is the decrease in ribosomal binding. Decrease in ribosomal binding to messenger RNA. Messenger RNA. The second one, the second action of this antibiotic is chloramphenicol. It inhibits okay, peptidyl transferase. Peptidyl transferase. Okay, that is the second aspect. That is the second aspect. Okay, the third one is streptomycin. 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 Okay, so it belongs to aminoglycoside group. Glycosides group. Okay, family. So a number of ways it inhibits. At low concentration, the action is okay. The first one is misreading of codon on messenger RNA. Codon and messenger RNA. The second one is okay. The second one is improper alignment of codon and anticodon. Codon and anticodon. Okay, improper alignment of codon and anticodon. At high concentration, that was at low concentration, that is at high concentration. So high concentration, it prevents okay, proper chain initiation. Okay, proper chain initiation. So ultimately leads to cell death. So most of the antibiotics are not bactericidal. Okay, so they are bacteriostatic. They decrease the cell growth, whereas in this case there is a cell death is there. The fourth one, which is acting on the prokaryotic system, is erythromycin and clindamycin. Okay, clindamycin. Okay, now let us see what is the mechanism of action. Again, we will see the prokaryotic system here. Here it is. This is 50 years. This is 30 years. It inhibits translocation. So once the translocation doesn't take place, protein synthesis is stopped. This is about only on the prokaryotic system, these four. And now both the second one is both prokaryotes, pro and eukaryotes. Okay. Then puromycin. It acts on both eukaryotes and prokaryotes. It resembles 3 prime. It resembles 3 prime end of the amino acyl transfer RNA. Amino acyl transfer RNA. Okay, so does not engage because of this one. Only amino terminal does not engage. Okay, in translocation. Not entirely. Only amino terminal. There are some similarities are there. Translocation. Okay, translocation. Okay, then what happens because of this one? Dissociation from ribosome takes place. That means incomplete protein is taking place. Incomplete protein synthesis is taking place. Okay, then on eukaryotes. So now the next one is the acting on eukaryotes. The antibiotics acting on eukaryotes. What is it? It is cycloheximide. So it terminates protein synthesis. Terminates protein synthesis. How? By inhibiting okay, peptidyl transferase present in of 60S subunit. Remember, this is on eukaryotes. Okay. Then, this is about the translation we have discussed. Next one is on transcription. On transcription. There are some antibiotics which act on the transcription. Okay, it is the rifampicin. It is a rifampicin. Okay, so it comes from the streptomyces used in tuberculosis treatment. It acts on the prokaryotic system. Prokaryotes. Okay. What it does, it interferes with okay, formation of first few phosphodiester bonds. Phosphodiester bonds. As they say, it binds with the RNA polymerase and it disturbs its shape. Okay, then inhibits okay, the initiation, inhibits the initiation of protein synthesis. Inhibits the initiation of RNA synthesis. It is on transcription, on RNA synthesis. Actinomycin. It is also known as dactinomycin. Okay, it is different strain of streptomyces. It acts on both pro and eukaryotes. Okay, then what is the mechanism? The mechanism is, you say, the DNA. So as I said, it is inhibiting the transcription process. Suppose here there are two pairs are there. Here you can say, so two base pair region is there. It binds somewhere here. It intercalates. What we say, it intercalates. Here the antibiotics intercalates. Okay, intercalates between two base pairs. Between two base pairs. Intercalates between two base pairs. So by intercalating, what happens? So it inhibits transcription. Inhibits transcription. It is used as anti-cancer drug. The mitomycin. Okay, it acts on eukaryotes. Okay, so it blocks transcription. Okay, then translation. Maybe also replication. Okay, replication. So this is also used as anti-cancer drug. Okay, anti-cancer drug. So other antibiotics are suppose nalidixic acid. Novobiocin. Okay, so it acts on bacterial DNA gyrase. So maybe it binds the DNA helicase, inhibits this particular enzyme. Okay, so inhibits. Then ciprofloxacin. Okay, so it binds DNA helicase. Okay, so that is bacteria on DNA helicase of bacterial DNA helicase. So okay, interferes with DNA breakage and rejoining process. rejoining. Let me summarize today's session. In this session, we discussed about antibiotics and mechanism of action at molecular level, either in translation, transcription, or replication. The objectives set in this session were shall be able to define antibiotics, explain mechanism of action of various antibiotics. Definition. The definition of antibiotics is bacterially, fungally, or synthetically produced substances which inhibit growth of microorganisms. Antibiotics inhibit essential biological processes, may be translation, transcription, replication, or more than one of these processes. Okay, then majority of the antibiotics acts on translation. Why on translation? There's translation process is enormous complexity and makes susceptible to disruption in many ways. Okay, that is antibiotics may act either on prokaryotes or eukaryotes or both. Okay, then why some antibiotics they cannot act on eukaryotes? The main reason is fail to penetrate cell membrane, that is the common, or it may be they do not bind to the eukaryotic ribosome. It is 60S and 40S, whereas in prokaryotes it is 30S and 50S. Okay, so difference in antibiotics. Okay, difference in effectiveness of antibiotic on eukaryotic cells. Okay, so basis of their usefulness as therapeutic agents for bacterial to deal with the bacterial infection. So the first we took up acting on prokaryote translation. So first one is tetracycline and its derivatives. It is a broad spectrum antibiotic. Okay, tetracycline binds to the 16S ribosomal RNA. Wastage of GTP takes place, drains the cell's energy, and also binding of amino acid transfer RNA at the A site is prevented by tetracycline. Resistance to tetracycline is quite common, so it leads to serious clinical problems. Why it is so? So because bacterial cell membrane permeability is decreased. Okay, it is not the reason that changes in the ribosomes. Okay, it is mainly permeability. Then the next one is chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol, first of broad spectrum antibiotics. So there are two ways of inhibiting of the translation process, prokaryote translation process. So the one is decrease in ribosomal binding to messenger RNA. Second thing, so it is inhibits, you can say it inhibits peptidyl transferase. Inhibits the peptidyl transferase. It inhibits peptidyl transferase. Okay, the third one is streptomycin. So it is belongs to the group of aminoglycosides. Okay, at the low concentration, misreading of codon on messenger RNA is taking place. Okay, then the second one is improper alignment of codon and anticodon. At high concentration, okay, prevents proper chain initiation, leads to cell death. It is a bactericidal. Most of the antibiotics, so bacteriostatic, they stop the growth. Okay, so then the fourth one is erythromycin and clindamycin, inhibits the translocation process, protein synthesis is stopped. Okay, the next one is both acting on both pro and eukaryotes. One of such antibiotic is puromycin. It resembles 3' end of amino acid transfer RNA, mostly tyrosyl transfer RNA, only 3' end. Okay, then does not engage in translocation process. So then what happens? Dissociation from ribosome takes place. Incomplete peptide, polypeptide or protein is released. Okay, so there is another antibiotic is the cycloheximide. It acts on the eukaryotic system. It terminates the protein synthesis by inhibiting the peptidyl transferase of 60S subunit. Okay, the next one is rifampicin. So which it belongs to streptomyces group. So prokaryotic transcription it stops. Okay, interferes with the formation of first few phosphodiester bonds and inhibits the initiation process. Okay, prokaryotic RNA synthesis. Then it binds to RNA polymerase and then it brings some changes in the RNA polymerase so that this initial binding of the formation of phosphodiester bonds does not take place. So initiation is affected. Okay, it is used in the treatment of tuberculosis. Another one is actinomycin D. It is also known as dactinomycin. Okay, it comes from the different strain of Streptomyces. It acts on both pro and eukaryotic system. It intercalates between two base pairs here. Okay, two base pairs. It is used as a anti-cancer drug, inhibits the transcription process. The next one is, so mitomycin acts on eukaryotes. It also, like actinomycin, cross bridges are formed between base pairs, so blocks transcription, translation, maybe also replication. Okay, it is also used as anti-cancer drug. Other antibiotics are nalidixic acid, novobiocin. Okay, they inhibit the DNA helicase. So generally, nalidixic acid acts on the A subunit of the gyrase, bacterial DNA gyrase. Novobiocin acts on the B subunit. Nalidixic acid on A subunit, novobiocin on B subunit. Okay, then ciprofloxacin it inhibits the DNA helicase of bacteria, interferes with the DNA breakage and rejoining process. So these are the various aspects of antibiotics, their mechanism. It is very difficult to discuss about all the types of antibiotics. Just the intention of this session is the how antibiotics acting on molecular level. Okay, thank you very much.